In this edition, Oscar-winning director Clint Eastwood talks about creating his latest film, Letters from Iwo Jima, with digital content producer and Millimeter senior editor Michael Goldman. Read the companion article in the December issue of Millimeter magazine or online at digitalcontentproducer.com.
I think the best compliment we've had on the visual effects was that a guy who retired as a general called me from New York, and they'd seen the film and said he thought it was really great the way we interspersed the real footage with the story of the film. And I said, I took a long pause, and I said, "That's very complimentary, sir, but we've shot everything, made everything. It was not there's no real war footage there." Mm-hmm. And I said, it didn't have CinemaScope on that island, or even 35 millimeter film. They had some 16 maybe at the best, Bell and Howell stuff or whatever they shot in those days. But so it was a combat guy, who had been a young captain on the first wave, and so that's coming from him. It was good. And I did some digital shooting while we were shooting on film. I did some digital shooting, which we converted and filmed out and made it work. Yeah. I did my trash can shots.
Trash can shots.
Well, I called them trash can shots, but I have 50 caliber machine gun cases, and I cut the front out and put a little digital camera in there, and that would shoot in 25 frames. And so I'd give it to some extra. I'd give a couple extra. We had about 800, 900 extras. And I'd give some guys that say, just carry this can. Don't pay attention to anything, just carry it. And so they didn't know what it was or anything. But it just went where they went. So it just you got the feeling that they were following along. And I'd say when you fall, if this explosion goes off, you can drop the can. You can do anything you want. I didn't tell them why, because I didn't want anybody to start getting. I didn't want them to start thinking and ruining it. I just wanted to have some cameras going along with every move, and so we filmed that out, and that came out nice.
Really, and that was, you're known so much for economy of production and let's move through it, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, and stuff like that. And yet you added digital cameras. It sounds like you were willing to do some experimenting on this project.
Oh yeah, no, I was experimenting. It was just a crazy idea I got. I thought that maybe if people were going to carry equipment anyway, might as well have a camera in.
Is those types of experiences moving you maybe in the direction where, okay, maybe I'd shoot a feature on HD already? Or?
Well, I think someday, yeah. I think someday. There's certain things that I like digitally, but that digitally you can do. We were talking the other day about it. So one day there's going to be a camera that big, and somebody's you'd be able to do whole films of it. But I don't. It's just not quite there yet, but it's going to be. So I just try to each film I do. I test whatever the state of the art is, and just and weigh it against film. But I'm not going to be at the point where be a traditionalist. I know people who won't even use embeds. They want to test the film. Well, some people like that, and that's great. I mean, if it gives you a good film and a good feeling, rather, and you feel like you're you're into something that you feel more comfortable with. That's the way you should stay. But I've become comfortable with the advent, and to me, it's been a blessing because I like to move fast in the editing. I just like to get in and move. I don't like to micro. I like to rough it in, then go back and smooth it out, and rough it in. And you can do it fast and. Well, it's still in your mind. You make a change, it's still in your mind. It's very frustrating in the old days of moviolas and stuff. You do the stuff, and then they have to splice it together and the thing, and you go back and come back, and then we'll take a foot out of this and add a foot to this. and by the time you get to it, it never quite looks like you want it. The spontaneity of digital editing is much more suitable to me. I think it could be a misused toy if somebody, if they fall in love with the toy, you can lie on the floor and roll the fire engine back and forth all day long. But you've got to use it as a tool and not as a toy.
Digital Content Producer Podcast.